Monday, March 16th, 2026. Today was a day of heavy witchcraft. No restoration yet. This is supposed to be an open heaven, a season of restoration, and the attacks are, every time I hear that, the attacks are worse. And today, I was not physically harmed, and God won't allow anything too bad to happen. But it was not a great day. Now, there was a good thing is I went to take my bath, and there wasn't a long wait. I think there was a man waiting there. There was a man waiting outside. He saw when I went in, and so there are two showers at the soup kitchen, so he went in right as I was going in. And I think he did this to use up the hot water, but I didn't turn it up all the way, so it was fine. Anyways, today was a sucky, horrible day. I'm trying to make the most of it and have some fun, but it was not a good day. A couple of days ago, there was a dead rat just right outside of my bathroom door, and it was really close to the door hitting it. I sprayed it with something, but I didn't throw it away. I was going to take a picture first of a dead rat just sitting on my floor. But actually, when I came home today, the rat was missing, so I have no idea. Is it under the carpet that's ruined? Did one of the dogs get it? I don't know. But then I was smelling a smell of death. And I'm like, is that the dead rat out here in my living room? And I looked around, and there was another dead mouse in my house. And it was stuck in two traps, and it was like stuck in them. It didn't come out easily like normal. So maybe it had been in there for a while. It had a bad smell. And so I didn't have any gloves out. I had to move dirty clothes bags that were balanced in order to get some out. It was a tedious job. I managed to get some. And of course now there's a bunch of snow. It was warm yesterday and the day before. And it is very cold today. And there's a bunch of snow. There's a snowstorm. And of course my heat is not working at all. Now my heat is not working. So this is part of the heavy witchcraft. So then I have to open the door and take the rat out. And it's just way more time and effort than it should be. And I still don't know where the original dead rat is. But that's not even what this... Okay, so I did not go to the soup kitchen for lunch. I stayed up a little later. I decided to fast the past few days. So I ate a late dinner the night before. I got up a little, I got up right on time, but I made a coffee, an instant coffee, and I just kind of relaxed around here for a while. There was a lot of wind outside. I could tell it was very windy, so I was not in a rush to leave. I thought, I'm just not going to go to the soup kitchen for lunch. I'll go later. So I went shortly after lunch. The weather was nuts. As soon as it seemed like it was not too bad, and I start biking, and then it's swirling again. And it's swirling in these weird patterns. I know it's not natural. It's witchcraft. There are angels that control these things too. It's swirling and there's hail. I don't like that. I usually use the other light, but it's burnt out. It's not bright enough. So as soon as I start going to the soup kitchen, then in front of me appear like swirling winds and hail. And this weird dust. It does not look real. And then a woman in a car comes right next to me, and she's honking, and then she stops right next to me. She's like, "You're biking in the middle of the road." Actually, she stopped, rolled her window down, and I stopped and I looked at her and I said, "What?" I don't know exactly what I said. Something like, "What do you need?" or "What do you want?" or something. Just not too polite, not too rude, just authoritative and normal. And she's like, "You're biking in the middle of the road." And I said, "I'm allowed to bike here." And she's like, "No, I said, "I'm allowed to bike here." And so there was a line of cars behind her. These were all people paid and hired by witches. They waited outside of my house for me to go to the soup kitchen. And as soon as I started biking, then they followed me and then zipped right past me, less than a foot away from me, I believe. This is illegal, by the way. You're supposed to have 3 feet between you and a cyclist. They zipped right past me, and one woman got right next to me, and she honked a few times, and then she rolled her window down and stopped. So I stopped, and I looked in her car, and I said, like, what do you need, or something. I wasn't rude. I was just, like, serious. And I looked at her, and I recognized this was a black woman. And this is not because she's a black woman. This is witchcraft. There are many different groups of witches and warlocks. There are many different groups. They come in all ethnicities, all skin colors. This group are the black witches. So they are not the same witches that I'm dealing with in the other groups that I go to. It's all of the covens are coming after me. And basically what it is on my road is that there's a berm that comes out, and so it's not the entire lane. They actually have widened the lane, and the edges are parking spots. So they want me to, or they don't really expect this. This is a hired attack. They wanted me to bike in the parking spots, and then there's a berm that comes out like every block. And so then I would have to get out in a dangerous way and almost be hit every time. They know this is unreasonable. So there is a lane, but then to the side of that are parking spaces. So she was saying because I was not biking in the parking space that I was in the middle of the road. This is unreasonable. And actually I asked someone at the soup kitchen, and it was clarified to me, if people are parking there, I would not bike over there. Because every time you have to get back over, then there's a chance of you getting hit, not being able to see 100% behind, not being able to see 180 degrees behind. It's dangerous to go out because the berm comes out like this at the edges of the blocks. That is totally unreasonable to expect someone to do. And you're not supposed to bike on the sidewalk. No one has ever done this before. But I did recognize the black witches, the black gangs. They send their people out to get me. It's all of the gangs. But today, I noticed the black gang was hired. And I noticed the head witch, which I don't know if something has happened to her. But behind this woman was also a row of cars. And they zipped right past, like less than a foot from me. God is going to deliver instant karma for these people. I don't know what is going to happen to them. But if something does happen to the head witch, I would expect that she would have to say the way that she has received karma within earshot of me. This seems to be the rules. Because when they attack me, then they have to tell me what happened. And they tell me by telling someone else that's nearby, so I can overhear. So this witch is the one that came out of the post office with a stack of cash right before a bunch of people tried to murder me. This is the witch that was in the soup kitchen today. I have not seen her in a while. So I biked to the soup kitchen late. After lunch had already been served. I was not eating lunch. I was going to take my shower. And then there was just a bunch of people zipping right past me on the road, being very rude, more so than normal. And I suspected this is witchcraft. And also with the swirling winds and the hail, these are a type of weather weapons in witchcraft. So I knew this was not natural. And it seemed like the snow started as I left. They intentionally timed this around my schedule. So when I got there, I told the people in the office, which of course the manager there, it just kind of like doesn't want to talk to me or anything. He feels like he's kind of defeated, it looks like. But there's the woman that also works there, and she's nicer. But, I asked her about the bike laws, and then she also said, if people are parking there, that confirmed it for me. If people are parking, this is the area on the road, on the side is the parking spaces. That is not the lane. So I am not supposed to park in the parking spaces and then get out in the road and go around every car and every berm and then risk getting hit and killed. That is very dangerous. And maybe this doesn't make sense. But this actually did make me a little unhappy. Normally nothing phases me. But this did a little bit. And my transportation is a bicycle. I do not have a working vehicle. I don't have time to walk. This is how I get around. I'm technically not supposed to bike on the sidewalks. So when I bike on the road, I'm supposed to bike in the lane. You share the lane with the vehicles. All the roads in this town are 25 mile per hour or 35 mile per hour. They are all slow. Um, and what they were requesting, or what they said I should do, was false. But had I biked that way, it would be very dangerous. Every 10 seconds or so, I'd have to like stop and then merge back into the road and look behind me and make sure I wouldn't be hit by a vehicle. This is very dangerous, inconvenient, and would slow me down. They know this. But the woman stopped, and I looked at her very calmly, and I said, I'm allowed to bike here. And I didn't say it like a Karen. That was a little, but I just did it very calmly. I'm allowed to bike here. And then I kept going, and I ignored it. But then other people zipped past. Anyways, I had my shower, and it was a very nice shower today. There weren't many people at the soup kitchen. It was cold. It was after lunch. There was a man waiting outside, so when I went in, then he came in, and he got in the other shower, probably just to turn on the hot water while I was in there. But as I said, I didn't turn the water up all the way, so maybe I noticed it a little bit, but not much. And I also took a really long shower. Had to look forward to something. Anyways, when I came out of my shower, today was a day of heavy witchcraft. Now, these are the white witches here. Now, there are groups where it's all ethnicities too, but there is a group of black witches. But there's also a group of white witches. There's a group of all ethnicities witches. There's all different covens. Some of them segregate. Some of them are all inclusive. So when I got out, and I was already dressed, but I was putting my shoes and socks on outside because I wear my flip flops. Then a woman approaches me and sits down. And I know who this was. This is the woman they sent to hit on me at the church, who I believe is a lesbian. They sent the lesbian, and then she comes and sits down a couple seats away from me, and I talked to her a little bit, but I'm putting my shoe and sock on, and it didn't. I didn't really like the company while I was putting my shoes on, but it was okay. But I didn't know if she was trying to hit on me again. She also said that she brought the desserts in today. Just letting me know. They had a lot of cake. She had more than she could eat. So she brought the cake into the soup kitchen today just to let me know that I was not going to be eating that cake. And maybe there was nothing wrong with it at all. I don't know. I wasn't going to take that chance. It's likely that nothing was wrong with the cake, but they said that so I wouldn't eat it. She came and sat and talked to me a little bit. I don't know if she was flirting. She was either sent to flirt and tell me about the cake, or just to tell me about the cake. But I was nice to her, and then I did not eat any of the cake for dinner. It was still there. I didn't eat it. Heavy witchcraft. And then the grumpy man, who I think used to call me nasty, and this is a black man, but he started to warm up as he sees me out biking around, and I'm in not the best situation, so maybe he thinks he's in a bad situation, but as he sees me in a bad situation with a good attitude, then he's actually slowly warming up. Anyways, then he shows up after I'm done talking to her. I'm like, well, I'm gonna have to head out. And then he comes and sits down, and he sits down near me. And then and I tell him I'm about to head out, and I talked to him for a minute, and we actually get along. So that's good. But then I had to go out. I had some errands to run. There are some pressing legal matters, and I had written down some addresses of places to try to go to see if I could get some help. Nothing worked last year, and I thought, I'm going to try now. So I talked to him a little bit, and I said, well, I got some errands to run. I'll be back for dinner. And so, but that was good. We actually got along. And he might have been sent to come in and stop me from leaving or annoy me. I don't know. But we spoke, and it was fine. And there was no animosity, and I don't think there was any curse. But it was just a minute, and then I left. And I left to the crime victims unit to see, like, all of the crimes that have been committed against me. I went there. Of course, I have already tried the programs last year, but they couldn't do anything. I got referred. I'm, like, going on a wild goose chase. But as I stop here, then there is a black truck outside, and it stopped. And so I park my bike outside. I go in the crime victims building. This is like where you report crimes and they help people, like crime victims. So I have a lot of crime against me: attempted murder, poisoning, destroying my property, stealing my things, just nonstop crimes. I would say maybe every day they try to commit a crime against me. This is nuts. Um, a lot of it's middle school stuff, but middle school stuff is also criminal. But anyways, so then this truck out there, then there's a black woman sitting in there, and I know she's another. If she's not a witch, she's paid by the witch. So this is like one of those expensive, like new looking trucks, the real nice ones. And she's just sitting there stopped and looking at me through the window. And yeah, I go right in the crime victims building, and of course they don't do anything. But then I got referred to another place, and then I go there and I stop. Um, there's more people driving dangerously on the road. And actually, as I left, I was turning left to go to this crime victims building, and then a car comes behind me and they honk at me, and then I have to do my thing because, like my hand symbol, because I'm actually trying to turn left, but they honk at me because I had to go like 20 more feet before I turned left. So that's why I wasn't getting over to the right. So this is just another pain in the ass thing. So I did bike on the sidewalk later. And I normally don't, and you're not supposed to. But I did because there was a lot of witchcraft being used against me today, and there was a lot of wind. And because of the wind, it was harder to bike, and I was going slower. It was also cold. So anyways, and I go to the next building, and then there's security. I go up the elevator, go to the third floor, talk to that person. They say they don't take care of this, but they seem like, they want to help, but they can't. They can't help people in my situation. As the devil knows the loopholes and works within the legal system. There is no help. There is no help for people that need it. Anyways, what I'm saying is that the enemy knows what they can get away with. They know what is difficult. They put you in a situation where you don't have money, you don't have access to an attorney, and they do stuff in different counties, so you can't get legal help. I could have gotten legal assistance had it been in my county, but because it was far away, then I could not get legal assistance. I already knew this. But anyways, then I go into this building, and this woman, like she seemed a little strange that I came in, but then she was nice and tried to help me, and she gave me another address. And so then I go 2 more places. And then the last place I went to actually had been closed last year. It was now opened again. There was a woman in there that seemed real nice. I told her a little bit about my story. She sends me to the room to do a conference call. Phone doesn't ring, comes in, then manually calls. I talk to this person, sit on the phone a long time, and then in the end, you're in the wrong county. I can't help. But they do give me another phone number to call. So, of course, nothing happened. It looked like I might have had assistance, but I had nothing. No help at all. So I just wasted my time, and it was cold. So if it was like 50 degrees yesterday, now it was like 20 degrees today, and there's swirling winds and hail. And now there's a bunch of snow outside, and the witchcraft, they have also broken my furnace, so there is no heat. It is less than 50 degrees in my house. My little dog is cold. There's dead rats in my house. There's another dead rat there I had to take out. I had to get behind dirty bags of dirty clothes that I can't get washed to get to the gloves and contaminate more things and cause more trouble. And then I was planning on bringing some merchandise to my booth, and now there's snow all over the roads. So this really does complicate things. I guess I can bike in it. I can bike in the snow. The way people were driving today, I've already declared and decreed if anyone tries to hit me, that their car would flip and be totaled. So if they just zip past and go really close, they go really close. Anyways, I said I was going to call and report someone who I wrote down their plate number. I haven't done that yet, and I think I will. I just simply forgot because that was a week ago. No, I am not a liar here. Anyways, so I just go from place to place to place trying to get assistance again. There's no help for me anywhere. No one wants to help. All the groups I go to, I don't want to go to. I don't want to go to churches. It's boring. I don't like to go to even the best church I do not like to go to. Even the very best church It is like going to school. I don't want to go. It's not that I never learn anything, but nothing good ever happens. Yes, there's food. It's poisoned. Yes, there's food. There's pork. Yes, there's a lesson, but I gotta sit there uncomfortable and small talk with people, which I hate. And just everything sucks. And I have to go to all these groups and things. And I said, God, I will serve you. I'll do whatever you want. But I'm letting you guys know, I don't enjoy any of this. I enjoy none of it. It takes up all my free time, and they attack me and break my stuff. And all of the groups and all the churches I go to, not one has helped me with my house. Not one has helped me get my clothes washed. Now, King Herod actually took me to his house and let me wash my clothes a few times. That was last year. But he also broke things in my house that were of more value than being able to use the washing machine. So he pretended he was going to help me get my washing machine fixed, but that was just a lie to string me along and to get my hopes up, just like all the other things. Anyways, none of these churches have helped me. Now, when there was something that happened a couple weeks ago, but they didn't know who I was then. They found out who I was later. Or maybe that money was giving them the permission they needed to curse me. This might also be something they do for everyone in that situation. I'm really not sure. But I haven't made that video yet. Many crazy things have happened. I really don't like that light back there. Many crazy things have happened. So people zipping past me in a dangerous way. Yeah, I went to the appeals court. I went to legal aid. So then at that point, I didn't even get to go home and drop off my shower stuff. It was already dinner time. So then I go to get in the line for dinner. See, did I miss something? There's a bunch of people waiting, and also this older man who's a veteran, who, he's probably an enemy, but he pretends like he's a nice guy. So he's a nice guy that sides with people that try to kill me. No, I'm not saying them against me, but what I'm saying is his buddies are people that attack me and try to kill me. I don't know why he doesn't understand this. So clearly he must. But anyways, I don't know. I haven't seen him do anything mean to me. But, you know, he kind of looked over my way, and so I thought, okay, I'm supposed to talk to this guy today. And I mentioned about, like, well, you know, you're suing. He's suing something over land rights, property rights, or having to mow the grass. And I said, well, about your court case? And then he didn't know what I was talking about. So if that even happened, if that's already taken care of, or if he lied, I imagine he was telling the truth, but maybe he didn't win, or I don't know what's going on, because he said that he basically won his land back, but he still didn't have it, and so when I asked him about him suing, then he didn't know what I was talking about, and said he helped others. He said he had a law degree, but wasn't a lawyer, and he's very conspiracy theory. Now, these things are true, but I really don't understand his position and what's going on here. Because he acted like he was suing, or he was going to court, but I guess that's already done or something. And now he says he helps other people. Well, I don't know about that, maybe. But he said he's put up boundaries now. He's learned that when he gives money or he gives stuff to people, they waste it if they're an addict or an alcoholic. So now he says he's put boundaries up. I actually have seen improvements, and he's learning things, and that's good. And he has not attacked me. He has not attacked me. He is learning lessons. And he even offered to help. But at this point, I don't trust anyone. Nobody has actually legitimately came to me wanting to help without an ulterior motive, without wanting to get something in return. Whether they're paid to attack me or they want to date me, but then they only want to help if I go on a date with them. So, but they don't really want to date me. They are sent by the devil because I am not available. Anyways, see. So I talked to him a little bit about legal stuff, and I told him a bit about my situation. He said, "Oh, I can go, I can help." And it's like, you're not a lawyer, And I don't have a way, I don't even have a vehicle, and neither does he, so I didn't really want that. But there are people in this city that I've got trouble with. So I said, well, maybe actually with what's been done to my hell house, if what's been done to my hell house, what's been done to my house, maybe you can help me with that. But the other stuff is like 100 miles away, so. But anyways, then I get in line. There's a ton of people, and they all get ahead of me. Um, and then, of course, there's pizza, and there's not very much cheese. So everybody, I'm seeing people that don't care if they eat ham or not, which is most of them, are getting the cheese pizzas. And I knew as I was online, they are. This is an attack. They're giving out all the cheese pizzas, so there won't be any left when I get there. So then I go to the line. When I get up there, there is the cake the lesbian woman sent, and she already came in and told me she sent it. So they knew I wasn't going to eat it. It might have been cursed. It might have been fine. Anyways, I wasn't going to take it. So I did not take it. And let's see what. There was a banana and some fruit. So I asked for that and some salad. The dressing didn't taste very good today. So I didn't even eat much of that. And then when I got to the pizza, then the woman there was like, oh, here's the chicken pizza you like. And then I said, oh, actually, I think there's ham on that. And then I asked her to trade it. And then I had 3 pieces. And she took 2 and traded them for cheese. And I said, well, this one on the bottom, too. And she's like, oh, stop. I'm not playing like that. I'm not playing like that. And she was rude to me. And wanted to make sure that I got the chicken pizza because she knew there was ham on it. So there was heavy witchcraft. And she was, I believe, under a spell. They get placed under a spell. So they wanted me to not have any food. There was also another little, there was also a thing with snacks in it, and it had pork rinds in it. So they had lesbian cake, and this lesbian tried to hit on me. They tried to give me a cursed object, and it had a gay spell on it. I know what this is. They have done this. I'm not making this up. This is true. There was lesbian cake, then there was fruit. And I got the fruit, then there was salad, the dressing wasn't very good, then I got to the pizza, and there was only like 3 pieces of cheese left, and she didn't even want to give it to me. She tried to give me the chicken, and I would have wanted that, but there was little pieces of ham in it too. So I couldn't have eaten it. I said, last time I thought there wasn't, and I said, but there was. And then she traded 2 and left 1, and it was still touching it. And I'm like, oh, that one too. And she's like, and then she took it and swapped it. And she's like, hey, I'm not playing about this. And then the guy who I was talking to, who was offering to help, he's like, what was that? Like, that was rude. And I said, it's me. I'm targeted. I'm trying to tell him. If he doesn't, he acts like he doesn't understand this. And he says, oh, women are equal. And he says, like, oh, how he acts like, oh, women are so great. But then actually, he's totally sexist and he doesn't even realize it. And the way that he views women and treats women, like he wants to help and they need protected and they need, and they're trying to do, but he doesn't really want to help. He wants you to hang out with him, and if you don't he's like, you weren't hanging out with me, I'm not giving you money now. I'm like, I didn't ask you for money. So I don't know if he's a friend or a foe. I can't tell. Like, he has not attacked me, but he's right there with the people that are attacking me. Anyways, and I said they're trying to make it so I don't have any food to eat. And there was also no cups. There was no cups. And then, like, when I went up for seconds, then I only got, like, a fruit and a fruit juice. Like, that was it. Like, they have little, those little tiny containers that you poke the straw in. And I like those, but it's not enough if you're thirsty. And then I asked them for a cup, and then they finally got a cup, and one of my hands was greasy, and then I had to ask them to open it, and it was just, everything was a pain in the butt. The whole day was witchcraft. They tried to make it so I would have hardly any food. The salad dressing did not taste good. I normally like these salads. So I would have just had like some fruit, and then pizza that had ham on it that I couldn't eat. This is what they wanted. They wanted me to come in there, hailstorm, snow, people trying to run me over on the road, and then there's ham, and there's like the witch was in the soup kitchen at lunchtime. When I went to take my shower, I saw the head witch sitting there, and she probably saw me as I went into the shower. And then when I came in for dinner, I don't think she was there, but there was another black woman there watching, and they have the phones out. They might have been recording. So there was another black woman there recording, and she was likely a member of this coven. I did not recognize her. These are different people. These are people I have not noticed. I do not remember seeing in the soup kitchen, and if they were there, they would be off sitting somewhere. And this time they were standing there, just kind of watching over things, and with their phones out, probably recording. So I don't know what kind of money or resources were used. They sent bad weather. They were driving dangerously around me on the road. Tried to ruin my dinner. Make people angry with me, make people not like me, and let's see what else. Oh, with the mice in my house, and my furnace is not working now. The heat in my house is not working at all, and now there's a snowstorm. So it is like 40 some degrees in here. So I'm gonna have to go to bed soon, but at least it's going to warm up soon. Like, this is supposed to be my winning season, and just, like, my house gets damaged more and more, and, I know that God's got this, but come on, man. Come on, let's see, like, where is a blessing? Like, to get a blessing, then I gotta go hang out with somebody for, like, 3 hours or 5 hours, and, you know, talk and be attacked, and it's like, it's not worth it, but now I can't even stay at home, because it's like a refrigerator in here. You know, I might have thought about staying here, but it is cold in my house now, so now I have to go. Now there's snow all over the roads. And so, you know, I talked to this guy a bit more. And there was the man who had been, like, punched or something in the face. He had been hurt. And he was sitting next to a woman. So, I was sitting at the soup. This is at the soup kitchen for dinner. I was sitting next to the man who's an old veteran. And he seems like he says he wants to help me. Now, he might be coming to get me. He might really be an enemy. I'm not sure. Because Bike Man pretended to be a friend at first, and then he was a serial killer. So this could be something kind of like that. I don't think he is a serial killer. Like, he could be a good guy that's a rapist. I don't know. He could just be a good guy that is trying to date me. I don't know. I mean, he could just be a good guy. But the thing is that none of them have come to like talk to me or try to help for no reason. They are paid. They're put up to it. And so anyways, then there's the man that was attacked there who seems like he's flipping. He's coming to the side of God. And I think he is dating this woman who really hates God and is very angry with the Lord. And she has had trauma in her life and she has been hurt. And so she is angry with God. And basically, while we were sitting there, she was saying, and I use black magic, and she was up and saying it real loud. And she was really close to me, because see, he was sitting next to me, and then right across from him was the man, and then over one more seat. So it was like 2 seats over and 1 across. And she was standing up, and she was saying to him, and I use black magic, and I use black magic. And then the man was kind of sitting there, and as I'm telling the other man about my situation, my ex, having to sue, having my house destroyed, and like all the stuff he's doing, then this man was kind of overhearing that. And he's kind of like, he's turning away, but he's kind of softening up. Because he maybe doesn't understand that I'm going through it, and now he's hearing I'm in a bad situation. So I can tell, like, he doesn't want to attack me. And he is with a woman who is still very angry at God. And this is actually the very first woman that I met when I went to the soup kitchen. The very first one. So maybe this will be the seal. Maybe she'll be the very last one. I don't know, to repent. But basically, then the veteran I was talking to, and he was saying how, like, they were sleeping out in the park, and then, like, all the other people that were there were doing rituals. They were doing witchcraft and black magic and voodoo. And she said, I know voodoo, I know black magic, and they were doing that out there. And they were just, and he said, and they were doing it. You know, and then there was also another man who came and sat like a seat over and across later. He was another spy. I did not remember seeing him. I did not recognize him. He was there sitting a couple seats over from me, listening, recording, taking notes. And I said some key things. And he like, and I was telling the veteran, like, you know, these people, and you know, if I tell you anything about my legal situation, they will find out and they will do witchcraft against me. So it's best to not. Um, and I said, you know, those people that you hang out with that do witchcraft, and I said, I don't want them to be hurt. I don't want them to be hurt. When they come after me, God's going to deliver karma, and I don't want them to be hurt. And it's like, and I'm going to be in a better situation. And so, like, I'm saying all this, and I said, and they said they were trying to get me, but they can't. And I'm saying this right next to the spy. And I said, and the only thing, maybe this is what it takes, you know, because I said, again, some people will never repent from a sermon, but they will when they see how weak the devil is. And as I said this, I believe this is when the spy left. When I said that. So, anyways, I'm going home. It was cold. There is an addict there who seems like a nice guy. He's an addict. You know, with addicts, they are like slaves. They are slaves. They are slaves to the spirits of these drugs. The drugs or the sorcery allows the spirits to possess them. But anyways, he seems like a good man, and I'm leaving, and it's like I didn't really notice an attack as I was leaving. But then I'm like, I get on my bike, and then I'm fixing something. I'm gonna go forward, and then he's right there next to me, and I'm like, oh, I didn't even know. And then he's kind of standing. He's standing there like this, like not rude or anything. He's not rude, but he's on drugs. He's on drugs, so it was that. But I think he likes me. It's such a strange thing. I'm like, oh, I didn't see you. I must hate you. but I don't know. I think he kind of just watches bewildered. Maybe he sees something. I don't know what people see when they look at me. But they know that there's a presence of God, and when they are angry with God, they want to attack. And the witches and warlocks, they know, and they are sent. They are hired. So this entire coven tried to take me down today. And so when she honked and stopped and looked at me, I was just very calm and very polite. And then she opened her window. I'm like, what do you need? Or, you know, I didn't say it weird. It sounded good. Like what I'm saying now sounds silly. And she said, you were biking in the middle of the road. And I said, I'm allowed to bike here. And then she rolls up the window and goes, other people zip right past. Very dangerous. But I'm not allowed to be killed. God has invested too much trauma into me for me to be killed. Anyways, let's see what else is on here. Man. Well, I got home, and I noticed the dead mouse was gone. It was missing. I haven't found it. I told you guys I found another dead mouse, and I was practicing some guitar and like getting better at that, and then I noticed it's getting quite cold. I go and look at the thermostat, and then it's like 50 some, and I'm like, well, no, I have it set to 65, and then now it is below 50, and I keep feeling over the vent, and this is not warm air coming out, it is cold air coming out, so I don't know what to do. It's just attack after attack after attack. And as I say, like, oh yeah, I get a free meal when I go here. Well, I wouldn't need a free meal if my money wasn't stolen and my house wasn't destroyed. It's not even worth it to have to go to these events. I don't want to go to the church. I don't want to go to the recovery group. I go because I do what God wants me to, and I'll do whatever God wants me to. But none of these groups want to help, and if they find out about any problem I have, then they just make things worse and curse me even more. So, you know, I thought about not going at all, but like God wants me to go. And I said, it's fine, God, but can I serve you while like things are a little better? And so now they're a little worse. Now they're worse. But yeah, a lot of things did happen. This video is going to be recorded before some that happened weeks ago. I had several more attempts on my life, attempted murder. Now the police will do nothing. They don't care. And there's no legal assistance. There's no aid for anyone like me. There are no friends. There are no neighbors. There are spies and enemies. And when they pretend to help, then they attack and destroy. So it's not a great day, and it's quite cold in here. It's quite cold in here. And actually, the songs I've gotten quite good at playing, I can't make a video because it'll be a copyright claim. So I don't even know. I can't put them on Facebook either because they scan all the videos and they listen to the audio and they recognize if this is somebody else's song and they won't let you share it. So I'm not even going to post that, but I am getting better. I'm getting better. A lot has happened. A lot has happened. And I was just given, I did not make this video yet, but I was just given an anointing of congratulations and an anointing of happiness. And then this day, the black coven was sent after me to try to destroy me. Well, I'm not destroyed, but I am cold. And I've got like a sleeping bag that's like ripped up with the stuffing falling out. And I'm going to get in that sleeping bag with my little dog on the couch that's too small and try to get some sleep tonight. Thanks for watching. God bless you.